What's good, everybody? It's the official campaign, and it's our favorite day of the week, Thursday, and it is time for the gentleman's panel.
Yeah.
Okay, period. Period to the period. Okay, on period. So we're back. So, like I was saying, today is everyone's favorite day of the week. It's time for the gentleman's panel, and directly to my right we have Brother Jay Wilson. What's good?
Hey, I'm doing well. I got my lituation shirt on because we
Period.
are on the official King Payne's platform on today.
Yes, and we're keeping it lit as usual. And to his right, we have captivating Christian. Period.
Hey, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us. As always, thank you to my people that always come to me. Thank you for coming over.
Yes, you got your wine today. You got your hair
Yeah.
down like me. I don't understand. Like, are you getting the same notes that I'm getting? Because every time
It's the
you
cancer
got to
vibe.
say,
It's the cancer
it's
vibe, brother.
it's the cancer
It's the
vibe.
cancer
It
vibe.
gotta
Yeah.
be because my hair be up, your hair be up. My hair be down, your hair be down. My hair be to the side, your shit be to the side. I'll be like, damn, girl, you trying it. All
Yeah.
right. Anyway, next up we have the amazing Rebel Son. What's good?
What's up, y'all?
Period. And we have a special guest today. I had to ask this person back because they just sounded so intelligent and well informed on the last show. I was like, she got to come back, okay? Period. I got a question to her, okay? Okay, oh, period. We have Conscious TV.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello,
Everybody
everyone.
show some love to the gentleman's panel.
Yes. Thank you for having me. I am so honored to be back. I love you guys.
Yes, period. Puriana to the period. So today on the gentleman's panel, we're going to be talking about politics. You excited, captivating?
I am. Can
You
you
know
see?
this your favorite subject. Okay, let's talk politics. Are you guys ready to talk?
Yes.
Always.
Okay, because I know I was kind
That's
of late.
that's why I
I know I
brought the
was kind of
wine.
late.
Hold on. Let's not get into tardiness, but I know it's
Okay,
California time.
but are you guys ready to talk?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Not
let's
to be
talk.
like, okay.
Let's talk. Okay,
Okay.
so let's talk politics. Okay, are you guys voting for Kanye? Kanye West? Um, captivating.
Who? I don't know him in my Mariah voice. No, absolutely not.
Did you not get a chance to watch his presidential campaign?
You mean his town hall meeting where
Yes.
he actually said that Harriet Tubman didn't free the slaves; she freed them to work for other white folks? Really? Seriously?
The facts are the facts. Where did the slaves go?
A hot mess.
Canada, other places, they weren't working for white folks. So I don't know what facts he was reading or what book he read that
Did
from.
he say anything during his speech that sounded remotely intelligent? You didn't agree with anything? What about Plan A?
You see my face?
Plan A, because you know Plan B. Okay, so Plan B, okay, is the option that Planned Parenthood gives women to abort their kids. You like take this pill and the baby's gone. Okay, Kanye is suggesting a Plan A. Okay,
I'm,
amongst other plans, to where pregnant women will receive $50,000 to $1 million a year. Okay, the amount is not you know.
but I know, but I'm just,
Yet.
but my point to all that in my face was who's paying for that?
See, he's going to present it to the people with the budgets and all the stuff. But
Again,
you have to admit that that's a phenomenal idea. A lot of people will keep their kids, okay, if they had the resources.
they are complaining about people keeping their kids and they don't have no resources. You can just imagine what it will be for the people now that have the resources and still making babies. Come on, at some point we going too much in the weeds, and it's like, really, seriously, calm it down.
I personally do think there should be other options besides abortion. How about you, Rebel Son? Are you voting for Kanye? What are your thoughts about Plan A?
Um, there wouldn't be a chance in hell I would vote for Trump a second term before I would vote for Kanye. And I think Chris Jenner and Kim would probably be on the same bandwagon as me. These recent comments he's made. So no, I absolutely Kanye is a walking disaster. He's too up and down. He would have us in a war before we knew, you
Kanye
know.
needs to take his pills. That's what Kanye
Yeah, I
needs to
mean,
do.
he's too,
He
yeah,
needs to take
I
his meds.
just Kanye to me, it's one of those, he's one of those people when you have too many yes men around you, he's the product of that. Absolutely not. Because he looks like us, hell no, I still wouldn't vote for him.
Why is that a problem that he looks like us? I feel
Because
like a
by
lot
the
of
time
people
black people
feel
have
like
this
the president
mindset that
has.
we all stick together, he's not my brother like that. I wouldn't vote
Why
for
is
him.
he not your brother like that? And why is black people not standing behind him? Where's Black Lives Matters when it
It's a
matters? Like
mess.
I feel
No,
like we
no,
all
no.
need
I
to
wouldn't put that on Black
rally
Lives
behind
Matter
No,
this
because he's not even
man.
with a black
no, no,
woman.
no, 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 no.
Okay.
I would definitely interject here and say what we need to do. We need to not get too crazy and lost in the weeds and think that just because he's black, he's worthy
All
of
your
a
skin
vote.
folk are not your kin folk.
He's
Absolutely
worthy of
not.
a vote. We can't go from, I mean, that would be just like going from Barack Obama, which we just did, to go to Trump. I'm not. We're gonna
Did you not forget his MAGA hat that he was wearing? Yeah, he's not my brother like that. Absolutely not. No.
Yeah, I think he denounced all that mega stuff and Trump and stuff, and
Yeah.
No, he didn't, because he also
It's
said that
convenient now.
He would pick Trump as a running mate, as a vice president. So he did not denounce Trump altogether.
It's all for show
Well,
purposes.
Rebel Son, what do you think about Plan A?
I would cap on that. I don't think that should be anything on the table because people are popping babies out left and right now when they shouldn't even be doing it. I put more thought into buying a dog than they do for having a baby. So no. Mm-mm.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And Brother Jay Wilson, did you get a chance to check out Kanye's presidential speech?
No, I would rather vote for Andrew Gillum on that bathroom floor throwing up before I would even look at Kanye.
Can the church say amen?
It's just a diversion to really look at what Trump is doing with another black person, and it's a diversion. Kanye is not stable, and yeah, he is indebted to Donald Trump after getting $55 million in that stimulus package. Yeah, he owes that man a whole lot. He's indebted to that dude a great deal. I think it's a joke. Far as Plan ABC, it's a woman's choice. They do what they want to do. They pay their taxes. We need to be there if she has it or if she doesn't have it. We have people now going all the way to Malawi and Russia and China and adopting children. We have children right here in the United States.
Absolutely. I don't think that. I don't think that.
You think what you want, but you asked me the question. Hell no. I don't think he's capable.
But he's pro-life, and he's running under the status of a Christian. Like he's not taking a political party. He's using the Bible and what the Bible says to justify everything that he stands for. Okay, and he's pro-life.
I got my Biden sign. I got my Biden signs right in front of my house. Absolutely not. That's ridiculous. I don't believe you asked me that question. Go to Conscious TV with that, because
So you believe that women should be able to abort kids? Like
they should be able to do.
It's their choice. It's their body.
It's their choice. It's their choice.
I understand. He said he's not taking away the choice. All he's saying is that if there are other options, right now we only have Plan B.
But the thing is, that White people don't even, well, excuse me, not white people, but people on the Republican side right now don't even want to extend $600 to people. So if they don't want to extend $600 to people, why in the hell?
They are now. Mitch McConnell changes his tune now because his poll numbers ain't looking so great.
But it's political. But if you thought that, that's your initial thought. So if your initial thought is not to give $600 in the midst of all of this unemployment, then why do you think that you're going to get something through? All of that is lip service. The president can only do so much.
Call it what it is.
You guys are not giving Kanye a chance. You guys are not listening.
No, I'm being realistic.
No, what we need to do is we need to stop letting these entertainers live out lifelong dreams and let them just be entertainers and let the politicians be the politicians. That's what we need to stop doing.
But the politicians all look the same. What's wrong with a politician?
All I can say is, come on, King Payne, you're too smart for this. You know that we have the Congress and the Senate, and you know that none of this stuff will even get through the House. It won't even get through the Senate. So let's move this along.
Trump got a lot of stuff through the Congress and the Senate that we thought would never get through. So if Trump can get it through,
I don't think so. Well, if they're gonna give $1 million to welfare mothers, then I'm sure the Democrats will go along with it. I don't think it would be something that the Republicans would want. But anyway, I'm gonna hold my thoughts. I'm gonna let somebody else take it.
Go ahead, Rebels back.
Conscious TV. What is it? You voted for Kanye?
So I actually attended this shit show, and that's exactly what it was, a total shit show. Would I vote for Kanye? Yes. I would vote his ass clean out of office, absolutely. In terms of just going back to my initial statements on the last panel, I mean, Kanye is manic. This man was expressing daddy issues, mommy issues, abandonment issues. He's a self-admitted bipolar person. He also says he's in a sunken place. So I need him to spend about 5 years recovering from that place before we even allow him to occupy the highest position in the land, which is the Oval Office, for God's sake. And I just think that Kanye West is just completely inappropriate and unclear as it relates to his statements about, I thought Kanye West just had to be full of audacity to even critique Harriet Tubman in the least. When he said that all she did was free slaves so that they can go willingly work for white people. Is he talking about himself? Because he's the one begging for funds from Adidas. He's the one begging for a spotlight on E! Network. I don't recall Kanye West setting anybody free. Like, it's so convenient to talk about people who've actually led the movement. People who actually, Harriet Tubman was a slave. She couldn't even read, but yet she was strategic and wise and intelligent enough, ethical and moral enough to lead her people from out of freedom and to not just think about herself. All Kanye West's narcissism has done is find different ways to mutate as the person of importance. First, you wanted to be a legendary rapper, okay? Then you wanted to be a legendary fashion designer, okay? Then you took your narcissism to another level by marrying another overt narcissist, Kim Kardashian herself. Then, when that dried up, you decided you wanted to be the head Christian in charge. Now you want to be the president. I need this narcissist to figure out which one of his personalities he's actually willing to commit to, because this nigga is ridiculous. Not to mention that Kanye West is, in his criticisms against Harriet, forgot the whole Reconstruction era where Black people owned a lot of businesses, churches, salons, barbershops, black offices, and all of those things were destroyed by the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan, and other racist organizations.
It destroyed by the United States government, interstate systems right between there, snatching their land by eminent domain. Yeah, can we move on to the next thing? That thing, I thought it was a typo.
Same
He
thing
also
about
said
the
slavery was a
people
choice.
wanting to build a
Remember
wall.
that one? Slavery was a choice as well.
Yeah, move on. Ooh, I can't stand it.
Moving right along, let's talk about universal wage. Okay, what are your thoughts? Okay, on everybody getting paid the same thing. Okay, universal wage. Captivating Christian.
Everybody doesn't do the same work.
Right.
So no, everybody shouldn't get paid the same. However, I do believe that minimum wage should be raised, but at the same time, when you're raising minimum wage, you need to be raising everybody's wage, because what's going to happen is people are going to start looking at the person working at McDonald's making 15, and they're doing other stuff that is more detail oriented, more whatever, and be like, well, hey, I've been on this job umpteen years. How come I'm not getting a raise? So I think if you're going to do a raise for minimum wage, you need to do it across the board.
But would you not say that we're all members of a body? You know what I'm saying? We're all not pieces of a puzzle, and each
But
piece not as important as the other one. So we all should be getting the same thing, no?
No. We all are pieces of one body, which is correct. And in being pieces of one body, then if you give a person a raise on one end, which is the minimum, then you need to increase that across the board. And that's how you do that as far as collectively as the body. But as far as everybody getting one raise at a time, honey, if I went to school to get 4 years of education to do my job, no way in hell is the person that didn't gonna get my pay. Talking about we equal. You could have several seats, and I would drink this wine and go on to the next. Thank you.
Okay. How about you, Conscious TV? Universal wage, are you in favor of it or not?
It sounds like a great idea on paper, but I don't know. As I critically think about it, it seems to fall apart very quickly. As Christian just said, I mean, come on. I mean, how are you going to? So what? I'm still going to have to take out $1 billion loans to get an education just to be paid the same wage as a motherfucker who has a GED. Not to mention that I'm trying to understand, how does universal wage cover everybody's lifestyle? Because this country is not a monolith. So you do have an upper, middle, and lower class, and you have people who want to live in different ways. So I'm not sure how that works in that context. And thirdly, I guess I have a question about inflation. I mean, what the hell would actually happen to the price of goods? What would happen to the prices of anything if universal wage was actually accomplished? Now, I didn't know anything about universal wage until y'all put this on the docket. So I don't know a lot about it, speak in depth about it, but yeah, inflation, lifestyle, I mean, how people support themselves on a universal wage.
Well, just cutting out all the fluff of it. Basically, all that means is they're cutting out the middle class, and it'll just be one and the other. So there is no middle.
But my issue with there being no middle is that the wage gaps and disparities in this country are so fucking long that the middle class is a non-existent class already. Anyway, it's a dying class. It's just poverty and wealth. That's all that there is.
It sounds good. That's all it is. It just sounds good. That's all.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I think everybody's supposed to, with the universal wage, everybody's supposed to get like the same allotment of groceries depending on their family size and stuff like that. That's how they do it. They give everybody like food or whatever. Everybody makes the same money, and then people without jobs, they're given jobs. Okay, like industries come back and like factories and stuff. And okay, but it's a lot. How about you, Rebel Son? Are you in favor of a universal wage?
No, because I think that's perpetuating our roles as consumers at the bottom of the pyramid. Why would you want? How about universal assets? Business, real estate, commodities. I think that it sounds good in theory, but a universal wage, that means I'll be forever working for someone. You'll never own your own company. So why would, and I don't want I don't want the nurse making the same amount of money as the nursing assistant, because you're putting more, and a person with a GED, because I saw people making comments, can have the same education as someone with a diploma because you can still go to college. But I think that the universal wage, definitely, I'm not for it at all.
Brother Jay Wilson.
I am
What's
for the
up?
universal wage.
Okay,
First
I'm
of
here.
all, I think it's been explained erroneously. First of all, a universal wage will pay people maybe $30,000 to $40,000, no matter if you work or not. So if you're making $80,000, then that's $80,000 plus the universal wage. So you still could go to college and do what you want. However, what the universal wage does is say, employer, you can't treat me like trash anymore because I can find a new job and still be able to pay my rent and have medical care and move on to the next thing. Or it can say, you know what, I want to change careers now and I want to be XYZ. So that universal wage helps. And if we had a universal wage, we wouldn't be in the situation that we are in right now with this COVID situation, because people would still be able to pay mortgages. So it doesn't matter if you are a scientist or if you are a bus driver. It really tells people, let me make a little bit more to get higher. Or if you're going to be lazy, all y'all can live in the same house with y'all universal wage. All I'm saying is I just think it's needed, and it has been tried in Scandinavian countries, and it does work. Now, far as your health insurance, copays and stuff, that has to be determined. But I do agree with the universal wage. So whether you went to school or not, if you're making $70,000, then that's $100,000 if you get $30,000. If you're making $30,000 and you work, that's 60. And if you don't work, it's still 30. But at the end of the day, it gives people power to move, and it causes employees to treat employers right, because right now we are nothing but glorified slaves to some of these employers, and they can let you go at any time, and you don't have nothing. So I think it's very important. I know a lot of people may not agree with it, but I do, and I'm still looking at the scan. I don't know if it's Denmark, Sweden, or Finland, but these countries, Scandinavian countries, are working with that because they think it's a good idea.
Okay. Can I real quick? Yeah, all three do follow that guideline, but they don't have governors where in which we do in this country, where in which some are Republican, some are Democrat. So the problem in that, in theory, yes, it's great. But when you have leadership from the top that is different, everybody's not going to be able to get those same benefits that another state gets.
This is why it goes to be a federal program and not a state program, and this is why you make sure people get it. It's no,
but even if it's a federal program,
it's no different than your Social Security, which people against. But my thing is, I think now with automation and technology taking over these jobs, we got to think, what is that person who works at Walmart going to do when that computer takes your darn job? Or now machines are even doing surgery in some cases to help doctors. So we got to realize, as this technology gets more advanced, we could be putting
out. Where will all this money come from, Jay? Where will they be getting all of this money?
Where's all the money coming from now to supplement and give all of this corporate welfare to these companies? Where's that $55 million coming from to give to Kanye West so he can keep his employees? So obviously they can find the money.
Oh, right. Okay.
They can find the money. You got to realize that corporate welfare is really hurting our country. We are giving these countries a whole lot of money, and then they don't even give back in taxes. They go for all of these loopholes.
You practically have a dozen children to even get some assistance like food stamps or something.
But if you have universal wage, you will be able to take care of that, and hopefully it will give you the incentive to say, you know what, if I make $30,000, then let me go make 30,000 more. You just have to do what it is. It's not perfect, but I tell you what, it is better than what we're dealing with now.
It's not perfect,
$600.
But again, even if it is federal, the governor still had the right to kind of cherry pick what part parts of the programs they
But,
like.
but the thing is, if it's a universal wage, it's universal.
No,
Period.
I mean, we're looking at you can look at the evidence from the Affordable Care Act. There are certain parts of the Affordable Care Act that you can go across these 50 states, and everything in the Affordable Care Act is not.
But try to get rid of the Affordable Care Act now and see what happens.
No, I'm not saying try to get. I'm not saying that
But
they
I'm
get rid of
saying
it,
it's still-
but
what
they're
I'm
cherry picking.
All I'm going to say
My
is
point
this.
is that they're cherry picking.
But
So
my point is this: I agree with the universal wage. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I agree with it. At this particular point, people are losing their houses right now because they can't do something. The government, by no fault of their own. And the sad part about it is we can sit here and be cute, but those European countries are surviving and thriving because they have very good social safety nets for their people. And here we are, all we want to do is corporate, but corporate don't care nothing about you and your house when you lose it. But
they care more. But they care more about their citizens and their people.
I got you.
We
I
are
agree.
focused on.
But in theory, I agree with universal wage.
Yeah, no, in theory, it sounds great.
Yeah,
in theory,
and you know what? Especially when you get up in age, you know what I'm saying, and you get elderly and you can work less and things like that. Like a universal wage can be very beneficial because you're less,
you're less active.
Yeah, in the job force. So a universal wage would be very beneficial to like elderly.
Can I say something to that? Yeah, I would love to know where we would find the money, considering that we are already $25 trillion in debt as a country. And not to mention that a lot of these other countries that do better when it comes to Medicare or even medical coverage, or do better even just amongst like a lack of violence and low gun crimes and knife crimes, they have like, it always seems like there's a duality. Like on one end, this is where they thrive at, but there's some type of a back end side effect that bamboozles the country as well. So I would just love to know like what Sweden and the rest of these countries are kind of giving up and sacrificing in order to provide that for their citizens. Because there's this documentary by a researcher by the name of Michael Moore? He covered the Fahrenheit 9/11 documentary, etc. But he did a documentary on where to go to next, I think. And what he did was he basically just went around the world to different countries and basically looked at countries who have elevated in ways that America has not, and that Democrats and Republicans argue is impossible. So something like free education over in France. You have a lot of Americans who do a lot of broad studies and they get free education abroad, etc. But the back end was like, in some ways, all these countries do function better, but once again, like they end up in massive debt. They need to be bailed out on the back end of things, and so I would just want to know just a little bit more research about like.
Well, I think it is, but a lot of those countries they pay higher taxes as well, and they're really ready to pay the taxes to make sure people live better. I just think that you have to have capitalism, no joke, but it has to be a limit, because at this particular point, you can't have capitalism running government, which it is right now. And I'm gonna tell you, people can laugh at the universal wage, but an employer will think twice when somebody can say, I'm gone, and you ain't treating me right, I'll leave, because I know at the end of the day, I'll still be able to put in my house and get a surgery if I need to. So those are my thoughts.
Period. Piriana to the Purier. I know that's right. Okay. Shoot. Yes. So with all this money talk, okay, we've been over here talking about the universal wage, okay. I hear that the U.S. is getting ready to send out a second round of stimulus checks. What are your thoughts? How about you, Rebel Star?
I think it's definitely, some people are still hurting. I think I was following this guy on YouTube, and he was saying by the end of August, no later than the end of August, and he was one of the people I followed initially, and he was dead on for the first one. But I think that 1,200 is something, but people are definitely drowning right now. Some of us are not as affected as others because, you know, I work in an industry that hasn't been affected like a lot of people. But I think that I think the Republicans are mostly on board for this, so I think it will. I think it will pass. Um, but I just think it's at least something is better than nothing at this point.
Absolutely. And what about the SBA, PPP, small business loans? You apply for any of them?
No, I heard talk of people applying on YouTube. I don't have a small business and I don't want to apply for something that'll come back and bite me in my ass later. So you have to be careful for getting this money because when they want, to have proof eventually, what do you have to show them?
Proof.
Proof. By the time they come looking, you should have some proof. That's a lot of money. Okay, you should have a lot of proof. Okay, on period.
I'm not willing to take that chance to even try to apply for something like that. Yeah, because it's tempting, but you make a deal with the devil, you'll have to pay eventually.
Okay, on period. How about you, Conscious TV? What do you think about the second round of stimulus checks?
I really don't have much thoughts. I didn't even qualify for them first round, or I didn't even receive whatever the first wave was about. So, I look. I have an entire issue with the way the world is set up in general right now, and I think we need just a total social reforming altogether, which is why our current society is totally fucking collapsing. Everything from analyzing police defunding, absolutely talking about a different type of government. Even I think we wouldn't get into this Green New Deal and talk about what that actually means. But I mean, I guess, but I'm kind of with Rebel. I don't believe in kind of getting ahead of myself. So if it was something that was going to come back to hunt me later, I would just have to make do with what it is now. But I think that this also is a perfect time for people to come together as a community. I don't even think these type of manifestations where we have COVID and viruses and we have different setbacks would even be as brutal on individuals' lives if there was more of a community spirit amongst people, where we kind of revisited that age of our grandparents and these people who kind of looked out for one another, shared resources, shared food, took care of each other's children. That if there was more community in general, some of these hardships would be breathable and there would be some comfortability within them. I don't think that the answer is money all the time, but I think that we need to just kind of equate community back into this. But if people want to go through it, the second stimulus, hey, get your fucking bills paid, or only fan it, or pop that pussy to the left and to the right, do what you gotta do. Like, I can't tell folk how to bend, how to flex when it comes to survival. So, I mean, hey.
You're absolutely right. Money may not be the answer, but it definitely helps. Okay, all I heard was that you didn't get your stimulus check. Okay, girl, look, if you didn't get your stimulus check, they giving them to everybody. Like, everybody qualified. Like, if you didn't do your taxes for the past 2 years, they automatically send it to you. They automatically deposit it. If you ain't get the deposit, you just gotta go online. You just gotta go online to the unemployment website in your state, and you just fill out a little form, girl. 2-3 days later, girl, you got $1,200 in the bank. Period. For real. How about you, Captivating? What do you feel? What are your thoughts on the second stimulus?
Okay, so as the political guru in the group, the second stimulus is total BS. It's just fanfare for votes. In my opinion, please, I'll just say that. But it's just fanfare for votes because people know that their seats and their positions are up, and it's getting tight. The more this coronavirus death toll rises, we're at 140 and change thousand, and we're at 4 million. It's just been reported today. We're at 4 million people with coronavirus cases. People's livelihoods are in jeopardy as far as the elected officials. So they will do anything at this point to make people, think differently about not voting for them. And if that means issuing a second stimulus, then so be it. Because Mitch McConnell, who vowed not to have a second stimulus at all, has now changed his tune.
Mhm.
So he's just changed his tune because he realized that his voting numbers in his own state of Kentucky, and those, if you're watching and you're in Kentucky, yeah, put the pressure on his old turkey neck ass because yeah, he realized that he needs to change his tune. So now he's talking about a second stimulus. However, for those who need it because you're out of work and you've been out of work since March, so be it. All for it. I am definitely for it. However, do note that it is a political tool to make sure that you get to the polling booth and you realize, oh well, I did get that extra, I did get that stimulus check, and it did help me pay my
It'll help Trump
bills.
on it again.
So
He'll put his name on it.
so that's why he put a name on it in the first place. Okay. So then it did help me out. So well, at least I know he'll help me out when I need it. And click that lever or check that box if you do a mail-in ballot. So I mean it's just for political reasons, but personally I'm not with it. I'm not with it.
Absolutely. I think that's an amazing idea for Kanye. Absolutely. Kanye needs some sort of stimulus, okay? Maybe if he gave everybody a pair of them Yeezys, okay, because he
They're
makes those
ugly.
out of
They're ugly.
he makes
Those
those out
shoes
of
are
recycled
hideous.
material and they cost like $300-$400, girl. He can stimulate the economy with his shoes, honey.
Well, maybe he can stimulate it with that 55 million he got. So yeah.
Yes. I mean, period.
Yeah.
Money may
And,
not
and
be the
then
answer, but it helps, like I said.
And then let's not even talk about the small business loan that most of the large businesses got a piece of,
Check.
right? Because they broke their businesses up into small pieces, like i.e., the Trump Foundation, that they have other businesses and they were able to get the small business loan. So please, people, do not be fooled when they talk about small business loans and you think it's going to your people. It is not. It is going to the same big businesses that you sit there and you revile because they make so much money. They just break their businesses up into smaller businesses like the Trump Foundation and others, and they are able to get those small business loans. That's what the small business loan is about. It's just about big business able to take government funds and keep it for themselves.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow. You
I
just
better,
made that make a
I
lot
better
of
get
sense.
with it.
Okay, I'm here. Jay Wilson. Okay. What are your thoughts on the second stimulus? Do you think
Um,
it's happening or
yeah,
no?
yeah, it's gonna happen, and it's just like what Captivating Christian said. But the people really need it. They should be getting more. You have 30 million people out of work by no fault of their own, by layoffs and stuff, and so
But
they should be doing. People got bills to pay. A lot of people are going to be kicked out of homes, and a lot of people are going to be kicked out of their apartments, and all of this stuff is going to happen because
it's
we
happening.
we get it. We're giving these people 1,200. If you live in California, if you live in New York, Boston, if you live in these major metropolitan areas, 1,002, that ain't even half of your rent. So I just think that that's crazy. And then we're fighting over that $600, and all of a sudden we have a change of heart because, of course, the election's coming up. So I agree that we need to be getting that second stimulus because people need help. They should be extending that $600 for unemployment because people need help. And if people are making more on unemployment than their regular jobs, then that says a lot to how our corporations are paying people. And that's a sad situation. As far as those business loans are concerned, if you're really serious about giving the small business, make the application simple. Restrict it to certain people. Look at these people and to see if they're a subsidiary or
They're asking how much you make for the entire year,
yeah,
not for a few months since March. How much you have made on
yeah,
your small business for the entire year.
Yeah.
And I
So
looked at it just so I can be aware of what they're asking. They're asking how much you make for an entire year and give them a rundown and other stuff. That is like who a small business.
yeah, yeah. So that's where I am with that.
Absolutely. And you know what? I couldn't agree more. Moving right along here, okay? Moving right along here. Yes. Does anyone know anything about the Green New Deal? Okay, captivating. Well, educate us on the Green New Deal, okay?
Please.
What is it
Okay.
about?
Well, first of all, the Green New Deal is not new. I know they like to make it new with Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, like it's totally new, like she created it. No, it is not new. Actually, it is an elevation or graduation from, of course, um, Roosevelt's New Deal. It's a growth from that, and then from that, in 2016, there was a candidate who also had a new a Green Deal. The Green Deal was basically pushing, of course, universal wages or higher wages for a minimum wage, but mainly talking about climate change and protecting where we live. So that was the main focus of Cortez's the New Deal was, of course,
Right.
raising the minimum wage to a level where in which people can afford to live in cities like New York, Chicago, LA, um, but also protecting the planet because, of course, there are companies, huge companies, that are allowed to dump their waste into our rivers and streams that the water companies use to bottle our drinking water.
Absolutely. It's all that and more. From my understanding, it means
Mm-hmm.
zero emissions.
Yes,
And
of
when they
course.
say zero emissions, they mean zero emissions. They mean they want to get rid of all the cars and they want us all to go electric. Uh, Amongst a lot of other things. They believe that, the cars as well as, these buildings and construction is destroying the ozone layer and it's causing climate change. And pretty soon here, it's gonna cause a mass migration of people to where we can't live how we're living now. We have to live based on the climate and the changes in the weather because we done messed up the environment with all the pollution and emissions. hmm So basically, they want to
Get some
reconstruct the
feedback, y'all.
whole.
Somebody has feedback.
Yeah, bad.
They plan on reconstructing the whole world, uh, so that we can live. Brother Jay, what are your thoughts on the Green New Deal?
Can you all hear me?
Yes.
I think the Green New Deal is great. I just want to make sure that Black people and people of color get some of this green because just like the New Deal, we were left out of that. So I want to make sure with this new Green Deal that we're in. And also, too, let us not forget that the automobile companies and the oil companies are not going to let this go unless they have some stake in this. Because if you're talking about zero emissions, then you're talking about taking the oil companies, ExxonMobil, BP, all of those people out of the game. And those people want to be in the game. So we have to remember that. I can say that the Green New Deal is helping places in Texas. They have a college right now where they train people to repair those wind turbines. And so people are getting help for that. So that's a good thing. But we got to make sure that everybody gets a chance and we don't leave people out.
Absolutely. And Conscious TV, what are your thoughts on the Green New Deal?
Can you guys hear me clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I just want to make sure that my understanding is correct. The Green New Deal is a proposed package of United States legislation amid to address climate and economic inequality by rethinking the way we use energy, fossil fuel, and proposing solar power, wind farms, and resource efficiency. Would that be correct?
Yes, it's all of that.
Great idea. It should have been something that should have been thought out about 2,000 fucking years ago, because as a Christian pagan, a part of my spiritual practice has always involved a connection and a love for Mother Earth. One of the ruins and great tragedies of capitalism is that it has avoided looking at Earth as a living sentient being and more as a street whore who provides some salacious services. So there are different scriptures, even within the Christian text, that talk about, like, we have a Sabbath not only for our own personal rest, but also to give the earth a rest. Capitalism does not allow earth to actually recover from any of the construction, the developing of institutions, of businesses. We're seeing a decline in our bees and our animal kingdoms. Our ecosystem is completely off balance. Our ozone layer is blown to fucking smithereens. So in terms of getting back to this idea of now trying to save the earth, I just find it very interesting, because these were things that were warned against and things that we had provisions for thousands of years ago if we would have respected esoteric literature and respected prophets and respected spiritual people who knew that this would be the inevitable burden of the contemporary people of the 21st century. So with that being said, I think it's a great idea. Actually wrote down some notes. I think that, so one of the interesting things about the New Green Deal and energy efficiency, I think that especially Americans, I mean, really where capitalism in general just needs to be analyzed, because I don't think that we need the things that we use. Like when I think about how my cell phone is imported from various parts of the world where there's child labor, where there's slave labor, where these items are it only takes pennies to make these items that then get imported here, and we spend hundreds of dollars for in the form of an Apple laptop, in the form of a fucking iPhone. And I just think that that's a fucking atrocity. It's an atrocity. And can I live without a phone that doesn't require a camera? Yes. Like, can I live without a lot of the luxuries that Americans have come to be spoiled over by? I think that the issue we're going to have with the Green New Deal is that this very privileged culture is going to push against their comfortability and their luxury because we don't want to adapt. We got to see that amid COVID-19. You had one commandment, which was to stay your crusted, ashy ass in the house and to make safety and if you were going to go out, to be modest, if you were going to go out, to be safe. And we couldn't even do that. We couldn't even do that. People had to party. People had to go to birthday parties. People had to go to parks. People had to do what the kingpin, that absolutely axed on the docket. And so all these changes, I mean, they're beautiful in theory. Do I have hope in humanity that we'll get with the program? Hell no. But if we did, the time would be now, because I think we're all out of time, and saving our earth can't come 10 years from now. We are already on the decline. Whatever changes we need to make to save our environment and to make sure that our children and their children and their children can thrive upon this land has to happen now. It has to start now in our lifetime. And if not, I don't know what they will be inheriting, and I don't know what it says about us that we will allow them to, pick up on all this burden and unfinished business that we were intelligent enough, that we were sound-minded enough to get ahead of when we had the opportunity to and didn't, because we're spoiled, we're rotten, and we're narcissistic as fuck. Fuck America.
Okay. Oh, period. Okay. Yes, you did that. Yeah, you could have said that more. I actually threw that question in here for you. I want to hear your thoughts on that. And absolutely, Americans are not ready to give up our luxuries in order to better the economy. Okay, we don't care. Okay, we want our cell phones, we want our luxury cars, we want our big buildings, we want our penthouses. Okay, we want it all. Period. Rebel, what are your thoughts?
What he said.
Exactly. Say no more, boo.
Say about the ozone layer being depleted at an alarming rate. We have hotter summers, we have winters, we're getting hurricanes in places that never had them before. It's a lot of things that are happening. The global warming is real. So everything what everyone else said, I'm agreeing with it. Yeah, we do have to definitely have our emissions. We're not everything that we're using is definitely damaging natural resources, and they're not being replaced. There are species that are going extinct at an alarming rate. I was reading something about polar bears, and they're like going to be extinct in the next few years with this global warming because they can't even hunt like they used to before because of the ice caps melting. So it's what Conscious TV said. He summed it up, and I agree with everything he said. I sign on that.
Okay,
Next question.
Puriana to the Fury. Okay, so what are you guys doing after COVID as the show rushes to an end? Okay, oh, period. Captivating. What are you doing after COVID?
I can't hear you.
You on mute? You mute.
We can't hear you. This one? You want to bite this one?
He's really talking. He is really talking. He is really talking.
Your mouth.
We can't hear you. He is going to town. And I'm like, okay, you going to town and stuff. You telling it. Okay, but we can't hear you.
What's T? You want to start doing Patti LaBelle impersonating.
We can't hear you.
What do you?
Is he off mute? Is he on mute?
Red bottom heels on? I can't.
Okay, so Rebel, while he figures that out, what are you doing post-COVID?
Post-COVID, I want to get with my family and friends. I definitely just want to travel more. I'm tired of running down these bumpy roads to get an orgasm. I want to have someone actually here. But that's about it.
Oh my God.
Okay, and you, Brother Jay?
You know what? I don't think it's going to be anytime soon, but I'm with Rebel. I just really want to be able to really hug and, communicate with my family. I went to see my father and we didn't touch. We stayed 6 feet apart because he's 81. I didn't want him to get sick. So I think really to get with family, to be able to, I'm even thinking about Thanksgiving. How is that going to look? So I think the biggest thing for me is family and, just being amongst people, being able to go out and dance and have a great time, do karaoke. At this particular point, we can't. And also my church services. I really miss those as well. So that's what I'm going to be doing post-COVID.
Yes. And how about you, Conscious TV?
I will be pursuing 3 lawsuits against 3 very simple, remedial, hooked on phonics, bombastic, busted ass YouTubers who have decided to falsely accuse me of conspiring against some half-age, prehistoric, big flip-flop, dust kicking up against baseboards, basement treehouse living, down low closeted, bisexual bitch boy, and a murderer. So, because I want to play those games, I will be pursuing those lawsuits and YouTube can run it and let people know that they need to retain lawyers ASAP. Lawsuit
Okay.
pursued.
Girl, I'm over here. I'm still waiting for a lawsuit. Girl was just talking. I thought a cross-eyed girl said something about suing me, and I still ain't got sued yet. Okay, I'm
Oh,
still
Lord.
waiting for the paperwork. Okay.
All right. Wow. We
But
got a lot to do.
Captivated. What you doing post COVID?
Oh God, he's still on that. You still mute,
You gonna go on a tour with the ensemble cast
You
of
still mute.
Pose? You want to get
Hello, can you hear me now?
What did you do? What did you
Oh my
do?
gosh. Okay, so just know that you can hear me now, and that's the blessing. Okay, so first, the political answer is I cannot wait to be around my family. My grandmother's 80 and change, and I have not seen her since this whole thing started because I just vowed not to be around her. And and other friends and family, my brother and his son and all that good stuff, and my sister and her children. But as far as unpolitical, I'm just ready to get my swerve on, and it's about that time.
Period. Periana.
To
To the period.
period.
Okay. Yes. So while we're talking about politics, okay, since today's episode is about politics, let's politic, okay? So you have to go fight. It's time to fight, okay? It's time to put in that work, okay? And you only can take one person with you, okay? These are your options, okay? Hold on, let me get it. These are your options. It's time to fight. Who you calling? Shanae,
It's time to fight.
Wanda.
Hold on. I need a piece so I could tie my hair.
Lord Jesus.
Nobody
Who you calling? Shanae, Wanda, Medea, or Rasputia? Who you calling? It's time to fight.
I already know who I'm calling.
I know who I'm calling. I don't know who Rebel calling because he's frozen.
Right. With his with his head like.
Well, who you calling, Captivating?
I'm calling Medea because she carries what? A piece of steel. Okay, hallelujah, a piece of steel. Pop, pop, like it's just gone. No worries.
Period.
We ain't fighting. We ain't fighting.
So y'all going down for attempted or murder or something.
That's all right. Medea will get us out. No worries. Pop, pop is done. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they always let her out, but I don't think they're gonna let your ass out.
I'll just bat these eyelashes. Apparently, people just say all I gotta do is look pretty and not open my mouth.
Look too pretty because you may not get out.
Okay. I'm period.
Oh, I'm always get out.
Get out with some new friends. Okay. Period.
I mean, hey, if I get out, I get out.
Jay Wilson, who you calling to the fight? Shanae, Wanda, Rasputia, or Medea?
Okay, so I'm not calling Shanae because that girl, she always punk out. I'm not calling Medea because you said fight. She's a good person with a gun, but you said fight. So it'll have to be between Rasputia or Wanda. And I'm gonna choose Wanda because Wanda is a little bit more muscular. She look like she can run track.
But you cross-eyed.
Rasputia don't look like she get tired. Okay, she look like she.
Her hand game on point. Game on point.
I'm gonna go with Wanda because Wanda has always been. I mean, she be doing this, and Wanda it was scared of no man at all, and Wanda could fight, and she looked like she ran track. So I'm gonna go with Wanda as far as fighting.
Well, real quick, I'm gonna say don't stand too close to Wanda because she might pop your ass.
Okay. Yes. But no, Wanda and Shanae, they used to do that windmill thing. Okay. I ain't calling neither one of them to the fight, okay? Because I'm gonna need somebody to do something, okay? Oh, period. Who you calling, Rebel?
I'm gonna call Rasputia.
Okay, I know that's
Because
right.
first off, Rasputia had hands and she had Norbert scared of her. I'm gonna say Rasputia. Because
Okay.
it's like with her alone, it's like I got 4 other women with me to fight. So
She had
Rasputia,
Norbert spooked for 40 years of his life, okay?
yeah.
Norbert was scared to breathe around her, period.
Norbert was,
got it.
for a fact, Norbert was scared because of her brothers, not because of her.
No, he was
Norbert was
scared of her
scared
too.
because of the weight, okay?
And he was scared
She
of her as
rolled over the
well.
wrong way.
When she was sitting there with that wig off looking like some of these content creators when the cameras caught them, I was like, Rasputia can, yeah, she ain't nothing nice.
Okay? Yes. Conscious TV, who are you picking, man, to go with you to the fight, period?
I'm gonna have to go with my good Judy Shanae because I got my own gun to bust back with, and Shanae always keep an old nasty piece of bailout money and an old nasty piece of titty, honey. She always got the bailout money. Plus, I'm probably gonna do about a good 6 to 9 months in the county jail, and not gonna have a future account too. But Shanae got that good old hair salon to give a nigga a job in, so I can sweep up a little bit of wig hair, get my income off of. So I'm gonna have to go with the Shanae child.
You be working on Myra's feet.
Absolutely right. Shanae always keep a little bit of coin right here. Martin and them always used to be trying to borrow money from her and stuff like that.
She said, Gina, what is this money? Smell it.
Yeah, but you be working on Myra's feet. You be fucking up Myra's feet. Talking about Myra's feet. You better get it.
She said, Dad called, what you trying to get, a Hyundai?
Well, you guys, we have come up on an hour, okay? And I have just one more question left before we get up out of here, okay? So look, you guys, we've been quarantined, man, and we've been stuck in the house, y'all. So I'm sure that y'all done a lot of things in the house that you know what I'm saying. You don't do any other times. You know what I'm saying? So your sex tape has been leaked post-COVID. What do you do next? Your sex tape has been leaked post-COVID. Your COVID sex tape. Okay, you know you've been doing a whole lot of freaky shit in the house. Okay, somebody recorded you and leaked the tape. Okay? Started with Brother Jay Wilson because you know he's the only one on the panel in a relationship, y'all. Okay, period.
Right.
In the spirit of the question, I would call my accountant. Moving right along.
Okay. I'm calling the accountant too. Okay, because we're going to publicize, offer this capitalize, publicize, monetize. Period. How about you, Rebel Son? Your sex tape is out, man. They caught you. You was doing too much pre-COVID.
I feel like it wouldn't be the first time, so okay.
Ooh.
So what you doing? You just gonna let it ride?
Ooh.
See what I can improve on. I mean,
if you had to take your best guess, who leaked the tape?
I would know it would be only one person that could have leaked the tape, and I'd be like, "Did you put my face in that? Is my face? I told you not to have my face in that cam." Yeah, that'd be it.
My. So, how about you, Conscious? Your sex tape just got leaked post-COVID. What are you doing next?
I'm calling Kris Jenner. Make me a star, baby. Turn me into Conscious TV Kardashian, boo. Give me up. I'm calling Kris Jenner on the line, honey. Where I need to sign at? What type of Pornhub deals we need to make? I am with all of it. Look,
girl, yes, I'm
calling salacious moment. So yes, Kris Jenner is my girl.
Yes, period. I'm calling Pornhub myself. Okay. Oh, period. Yes. So captivating. Your political career is on the line. Your sex tape has just gotten leaked post-COVID. What are you doing, man?
I'm calling Doug Johnson, and we're making captivating Christian penises. to pass on to the world. Because personally, I took the video, so obviously the only person that leaked it was the person who was getting the ping, and yeah, so that's what we're doing.
Yes, we selling penis smokes. I know that's right.
We selling penis smokes. That's what we said all day.
Period to the period.
And I can resign from my political position, and and still be fine.
And live off your penis for the rest of your life. Period.
That's it. That's it.
All day. Yeah, I'm behind that. I'm definitely with that. Well, look, you guys.
Get behind it, in front of it, all of it.
I'm gonna stand next to it and look at it. I'm like, girl, what you gonna do with that? Anyway, look, you guys, we've been here for over an hour. It has been an amazing show. I was late today, so we kind of had to breeze through the topics. Okay, but before we get out of here, I want everyone to go around and just tell the people a little bit about yourself and where they can find you. Okay, remember, the best way to support your favorite YouTuber is to follow, share, and send that money in, period, via Cash App. Captivating, tell us what's good. Where can we find you?
Yes, you can find me at Captivating Christian, CCN TV, basically talking about politics all day, where you can get your latest info on what's going on in the actual world, any time of the day. And that's just where you can find me.
Absolutely. You guys make sure that you guys go and follow, subscribe, send that dough to Captivating Christian and Rebel Son. What's going on?
You can find me at Rebel Sun, home of the Sun Tribe. You can follow the smoke signals. It'll lead you right to where I'm at. I do carpool conversations. I'm going to do some interviews coming up pretty soon. That's it. Just come check me out. I do a lot of little story times, and if you're looking for some clean, like pure language, don't come over there because, you can go listen to Jay, but I'm a little bit more, I curse.
A lot.
Okay. Period. Rambo the cursor. Okay. Rambo the cursor. Kanye West is cursing too. You know what I'm saying?
But he has about 3 or 4 other personalities that curse as well.
Okay, so it's about 3 to 4 times worse than what you doing over there.
Right.
Wow. Okay, and Brother Jay Wilson.
You can find me on Jay Wilson, and I am talking about current events, politics, just things in life. I too will be doing some interviews, and I thank you all for just coming over and having a great time. And just hit me up. I believe that I will be hosting, if I'm not mistaken, Thursday for the gentleman's panel. So I'm gonna extend another invitation to Conscious TV, and if he would like to come on. And the reason why I'm doing this is because we have guest appearances, and Conscious TV is awesome. I do like his perspective, and he's given us a whole lot, and people like his hair. So if it ain't none for the hair, that old nasty piece of platinum.
He's giving it storm right now.
Giving us that, okay, you got to do that. I see you. I see that third eye. Anyhow, Conscious TV. So I will be hosting. Please come on, and we will start at 6:30 promptly. 6:30 no later than 6:45.
I'll be on time next week.
Okay.
Period. So, Conscious TV, tell us all where we can find you and what your platform is about.
Okay, well, you can find me on Conscious TV on Instagram and YouTube, and my platform is equivalent to a mixtape. You find a little bit of everything there: comedy, pop culture, dragon roasting, spirituality. I try to be an all-encompassing, multifaceted cleaning chemical. So I try to provide a little bit of Clorox, a little bit of smell good, a little bit of everything on my channel. Now, I can't promise that I also won't end up on the America's Most Wanted Fugitives list in about 6 months, But for now, you can definitely find me on Conscious TV. So be more than welcome to check me out and come be a part of the kingdom. And I also want to thank you, King Payne, for inviting me to the platform. I am so honored. I love you to death. And I want to thank Brother Jay for extending the invitation again. It means a lot. I know that I'll have to put you guys on my knees someday. I'm prepared to do that. So God bless.
Oh, you talking about Jesus? Okay, you talking about Jesus? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, on period. Puriana to the Purier. Well, this has been an amazing show, phenomenal show. You guys all know where you guys can find me. I mean, you guys are here right now. It is the official King Payne. Okay, and this is the home of the lituation. And what you guys just witnessed is one of the most amazing shows on YouTube, The Gentleman's Panel. Period. Puriana to the Purier. Well, without further ado, okay, because some of us have to get in the bed and get up early, real early. We're going to get up out of here, okay? Until next time, everybody say bye.